Part 1 Unexpected Entrepreneurs Renaissance. You already have the skills you need. You just have to know where to look. The need for change bulldozed a road down the century of my mind. Maya Angelou. The need for the change bulldozed a road down the century of my mind. On the Monday morning of May 4th, 2009, Michael Hanna put on a Nordstorm suit with a colorful tie and headed to his office building in downtown Portland, Oregon. A 25 years veteran sales professional, Michael spent his days attending meetings, pitching clients, and constantly responding to email. Arrived at work, he settled into his cubicle, reading the news and checking a few emails. One of the messages was from his boss, asking to see him later that day. The morning passed uneventfully. More emails, phone calls, and planning for a big match. Michael took a client out to lunch, stopping off for an espresso recharge on the way back in. He returned in the time to fire off a few more replies and head to the boss's office. Inside the office, Michael took a seat and noticed that his boss didn't make eye contact. After that, he says, everything happened in a slow motion. I had heard story after story of this experience from other people, but I was always disconnected from it. I never thought it could happen to me. Wow. His boss mentioned the downturn in the economy, the unavoidable need to lose good people, and so on. An HR manager appeared out of the nowhere, walking Michael to his desk and handing him a cardboard box, an actual box, to pack up his things. Michael wasn't sure what to say, but he tried to put on a brave face for his nearby colleagues. He drove home at 2:30, thinking about how to tell his wife, Mary Ruth, and their two children that he no longer had a job. After the shock wore off, Michael settled into the unfamiliar routine, collecting unemployment checks and hunting for job leads. The search was tough. He was highly qualified, but so were plenty of other people out pounding the pavement every day. The industry was changing, and it was far from certain that Michael could return to a well-paying job at the same level he had worked before. One day, a friend who owned a furniture store mentioned that he had a truckload of close-out mattress and no use for them. You could probably sell these things one at a time on the Craigslist and do pretty well, he told Michael. The idea sounded crazy, but nothing was happening on the job front. Michael figured if nothing else, he could at least sell the mattress at cost. He called Mary Ruth. Honey, it's a long story, but it's okay if I buy a bunch of mattresses. The next step was to find a location to stash the goods. Hunting around the city, Michael found a car dealership that had gone out of business recently. Times were hard in the real estate business too, so when Michael called the landlord to see if he could set up shops inside the old showroom, he had a deal. Wow. The first inventory went quickly through the Craigslist and word of mouth. And the biggest problem was answering the question from the potential customers about what kind of material they should buy. I had no business plan and no knowledge of mattresses, Michael said. My impression of mattress store was that they were seedy, high-pressure places. I wasn't sure what kind of place I was trying to build, but I knew it had to be a welcoming environment where customers weren't hustled. After the first experience went well, Michael took the plunge and studied up on mattresses, talking to local suppliers and negotiating with the landlord to remain in the former car showroom. Mary Ruth built a website. The concept of the no hard sell mattress store went over well in Portland, and business grew when the store offered the industry's first ever mattress delivery by bicycle. By bicycle. That's hilarious. Oh, this is quite nice. This is quite different, right? By delivery by bicycle. A friend built a custom tandem bike with a platform on the back that could hold king-size mattresses. Customers who rode their own bikes to the store received free delivery, a pricing tactic that inspired loyalty and a number of fan videos uploaded to YouTube. It wasn't what Michael had ever expected to do, but he had built a real business, profitable, right from the first truckload of a mattress and providing enough money to support his family. On the 2-year anniversary of his abrupt departure from the corporate life, Michael was looking through his closet when he spotted the Nordstorm suit he had worn on his last day. Over the last 2 years, he hadn't worn it or any other professional dress clothes a single time. He carried the suit out to his bike, dropped it off at a Goodwill, and continued on to the mattress store. It's been an amazing 2 years since I lost my job, he says now. I went from corporate guy to mattress delivery man, and I've never been happier. Across town from the Michael's accidental mattress shop, first-time entrepreneur Sarah Young was opening a young store around the same time. When asked why she took the plunge at the height of the economic downturn and with no experience running a business, Sarah said, "It's not that I had no experience. I just had a different kind of experience. I wasn't an entrepreneur before, but I was a shopper. I knew what I wanted and it didn't exist, so I built it." Wow. This is cliche, but this is a loyal road, right? I knew what I wanted and it didn't exist, so I built it. Sarah's yarn store profited further in chapter 11, was profitable within 6 months and has inspired an international following. Meanwhile, elsewhere around the world, others were skipping the part about having an actual storefront, opening internet-based business at almost zero startup cost. In England, Susanna Conway started teaching photography classes for fun and got the surprise of her life when she made more money than she did as a journalist. Question: What did you not foresee when starting up? Answer: I didn't know I was starting up. Wow. Benny Lewis graduated from a university in Ireland with an engineering degree, but never put it to use. Instead, he found a way to make a living as a professional language hacker, traveling the world and helping students quickly learn to speak other languages. Question: Is there anything else we should know about your business? Answer: Yes. Stop calling it a business. I'm having the time of my life. Welcome to the strange new world of micro-entrepreneurship. In this world, operating independently operating independently from much of the other business you hear about. Indians blower make $200,000 a year. Roaming independent publishers operates from the Buenos Aires and Bangkok. Product launches from one man or one woman business bring in the $100,000 in a single day, causing a nervous bank managers to shut down their accounts because they don't understand what's happening. Oddly, many of these unusual businesses thrive by giving things away, recruiting a legion of the fans and followers who support their paid work wherever it is finally offered. My marketing plan is a strategic giving, said Megan Hunt, who makes handcrafted dresses and wedding accessories in Omaha, Nebraska, shipping them all over the world. Empowering others is our greatest marketing effort, said Scott Mayer from South Dakota. We host training sessions, give away free materials, and answer any question someone emails to us at no charge whatsoever. Wow. In some ways, renegade entrepreneurs who back the system and go it alone are nothing new. Micro-business, business typically run by only one person, have been around since the beginning of the commerce. Merchants roamed the street of ancient Athens and Rome, hawking their wares. In many parts of the rural Africa and Asia, much commerce still takes place through small transactions and barter. Unconventional approaches to marketing and public relations have also been around for a while. Long before it was common, and a band had an idea for communicating directly with fans, bypassing the traditional structure of the record labels as much as possible. The fans felt like they were a part of a community instead of just a crowd of adoring listeners. Oh, and instead of relying primarily on album sales for income, the band would rely on ticket sales and merchandising at an unending series of the live concerts. The example sounds like it's happening today, but the year was 1967 and the band was Grateful Dead. What's new, however, is how quickly someone can start a business and reach a group of customers. The building process is much faster and cheaper today than it has ever been. In other words, it is more competitive, right? Yes. Going from idea to startup can now take less than a month and cost less than $100. Just ask any of the people whose stories you read in this book. Commerce may have been around forever, but scale, reach, and connection have changed dramatically. The handyman who does odd jobs and repairs used to put up flyers at the grocery store. Now he advertises through Google to people searching for kitchen cabinet installation in their city. Yes. It's not an elitist club. It's a middle-class, leaderless movement. All around the world, ordinary people are opting out of the traditional employment and making their own way. Instead of fighting the system, they are creating their own form of work, usually without much training and almost always without much money. These unexpected entrepreneurs have turned their passion into profit while creating a more meaningful life for themselves. Yes. What if you could do this too? What if you could have the same freedom to set your own schedules and determine your own priorities? Good news, freedom is possible. More good news, freedom isn't something to be envisioned in the vaguely distant future. The future is now.